Good morning, this is Jack from theartofchart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for the morning of Friday, the 15th of May. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, ES. Nice bounce off the month pivot yesterday, pretty sweet actually. Do we have a potential flag here? Yes, but I'm not going to be taking it seriously unless we can get through resistance today. Is it a possibility? Yes. And we could be forming the right shoulder on slightly oversized inverse head and shoulder patterns here. You can see that on ES here. You can see that on NQ. These aren't great. NQ1's very oversized. There's no particular reason to think that we're going to break resistance today, but it's always worth bearing in mind as a possibility. That's a possible IHS on RTY. That's a possible IHS on YM. We've come up to the the neckline area. We've done right shoulder retracements overnight. I think stands right. We are likely to see a rally this morning. We'll see what happens to that. ESDX and DAX. Likely we resume the downtrends here. We will see. Right, just going to have a quick look at the 5-minute chart, where Stan's talking about a rally this morning. We've got a nice bottoming setup here. We've got a very decent looking potential double bottom. A sustained break over 26 gets us back into about 41, 42 area. We have a 5-minute buy signal that has fixed. I'm quite liking this. I like the AM rally. We've come down to support here. We're just past the 50% retracement. This is a good place to sit. Let's have a look and see how that looks on the RTH charts and where resistance is today. All right, let's have a look. Right, on SPX, nice reversal off the low. There's no, we might be forming IHSs on the futures charts, but obviously there's nothing on the RTH chart, because the right shoulder, of course, is overnight. It's and actually a lot of the completion of the head was overnight as well. So it's kind of like came up to here, but you can't actually see any of that action on SPX. In terms of where we stopped yesterday, we came up to the daily middle band, and we got within 4 handles of it, and we stopped. So that was what I wanted to see. I did not want to see a break back over the daily middle band yesterday. We've confirmed the close below, and that is resistance today. We can go over it intraday. And Stan is talking about the possibility that we get back to the weekly pivot. And the weekly pivot, of course, is at 28.77, and that is backed up by 2 big areas of resistance. If we get that high, and I'm not saying we could fell directly from here, but we've got quite a nice bottoming setup to get us to at least 40. We could go higher from there. The overnight high we were at, we found was there was a big level at 62, and we stopped at 63. It may not get over that. If it does, what we need to be looking at is the 5 DMA, currently at 28.80. Pretty good match with the weekly pivot, and the 50-hour moving average currently at 28.80, and a pretty good match with the weekly pivot. So basically, we got a big resistance there. Stan's got invalidation at I think 29.06. Did he say? Hang on, wait a second. I'm just looking. Okay, no, he's talking about downwards 28.06 and validates the move. I think. Breaking of that weekly pivot, we can go directly back up to the highs. Not expecting to see that. There's nothing really here suggesting strongly that we're going to do that. And I think the IHSs here are much weaker because they're not on the RTH indices, which is always a possibility worth bearing in mind. And I have been talking about the possibility that overall we have been forming a bull flag, and this would be an okay bull flag if we were to break up through it. So that is the thing to be wary about on the upside. If we get back to the weekly pivot, that is the key area. All the main resistance levels are around that. And equally, if we close back over the daily middle band today, that's a bullish sign. We may well follow through into a retest of the high from there. Okay, DX. DX, on the downside, by the way, once we break the lower, I'm expecting to go basically down to this area here, which is in the 27.20 area. That is the next big support level. And that is the next big chance to do a bigger rally, or at least a rally of a similar size, to make the right shoulder on a head and shoulder pattern. That would be ideal, very much on both ES and SPX. That would be the next big level. Okay, DX. DX, is it going to break up? My feeling is, on balance, I've been weighing all the evidence from various things which are correlated with this, and I'm thinking probably not, but there's at least some evidence that it might. Stan's theory is that gold and DX can go up at the same time. I'm not convinced of that, actually. I think gold is likely to be going up. I'm doubtful that DX can go up at the same time. Maybe it can, but I think we may well be failing here. We will see. ZB is starting to look like a breakup. We're getting over resistance here. I think this has been a big triangle, and we have not yet broken up from it. No, the triangle's from there. I think we're in the range where we're thinking of breaking up from it. If we do, then I think we might see a sustained thrust up. We will see. CL. CL broke up from the flag and is almost at my target here in the 2950 area. When we get to that target, we will be on negative divergence, and we could well see a reversal. I'm expecting to see a big reversal, $10 or so. To make an IHS right shoulder, and that would be from basically this area up into about 30.5 or 31. I'm really liking that. We'll have the negative divergence for it. Certainly the oil really needs that retracement, and if we're going bullish on the bigger picture, as I think we might be, then that would be the right shoulder low to set up the pattern to take us back to the 50 area. NG. NG, we've broken up through declining resistance, and I'm watching this carefully. We could form an IHS here, but I don't think we've formed it yet. This could take it higher. I am concerned that on the bigger picture, we might need to go back and retest 1.52, and watching that carefully. But so far, so good. There's nothing suggesting this can't go higher. We have broken the declining resistance, back tested it, and we could be forming a reversal pattern here, which could take us back up into the monthly pivot area. GC. GC has started the leg up. This is the triangle thrust. It should go to an absolute minimum of 1788 and probably a bit higher. We could see a larger retracement after we get there. SI, well, that's made the minimum target already. That was at 16.5, and it's taken that level, it's converted it, and it's going higher. I do have an open flag target in the, I think, 19.5 area. Really, SI can go up a lot. It looks like it's got a following wind here. There's a bit of negative divergence here. I haven't marked it on the chart. I'm not expecting it to deliver. HG, now Stan's looking at this as a bottoming setup here, and this could be a bottoming setup. You would see there's a very clear inverted head and shoulder here with my favorite, the neckline at weekly pivot. Now, break and convert the weekly pivot, and we can go back and retest this high. In fact, I mentioned this on the notes last night. So is it going to do that? I don't know. I'm a little skeptical. We will see. But I think break and convert monthly pivot, and we're likely on the way down. Retest this high, leaning towards that being the second high of a double top. UUSD. UUSD looks like it's on the way back up, and this actually isn't a bad looking double bottom. I think this is probably going to continue back up, and DX is probably going to go back down. I'm skeptical. I'm also skeptical about the whole DX must go up if the market goes down thing. We'll see. But I think gold's more likely to go up than DX, and I think I'm skeptical about them both moving in the same direction for long. GBP USD maybe bottoming out here. No current positive divergence. We will see how that goes. USD JPY, there's not a bad setup here to go higher, but what I would say is we've broken up from this wedge and we retraced about 50% of the wedge, so it doesn't actually technically have to go any higher. Maybe coming back in for a retest this low, obvious support of the weekly pivot 106.6. USD CAD, USD CAD, we've got, this is one of the things that likes a move up on DX here, because really this setup here is leaning towards us seeing a retest of this high here at 1.4664. So is it going to do that? Maybe. It's holding the monthly pivot as support so far. We'll see whether that continues to be the case. Australian dollar. Australian dollar didn't quite retest this high. I think some kind of a bull flag or triangle is likely to be forming here. We will see. We've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed on NZ. Again, could be a flag or a triangle forming. Watching to see what happens here. Obviously not a bad looking potential level bottom. KC. KC, bit of a counter trend rally here. Likely when that tops out, might have a session monthly pivot, who knows, but likely when that finishes to top out and head back into a retest of this low and then this low at 1.03. SB. I'm really liking the bull side on this bigger picture. It's not showing much sign of wanting to retest this high, and it doesn't have to retest this, this low, and doesn't have to retest this low. I think this may well go straight back up, and the next big target would be in the 11.5 area. We will see. CC. CC, this is broken down from the channel once, and I think it's probably about to break down from it below again. Don't know, it might just be a retracement, might be a full move back to the lows. We will see. I think short term, I'm leaning towards seeing more downside. CW, we've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. Have we retested this low yet? Hang on. Not quite. Might need to go back and retest this low. Not a bad falling wedge here. This would be an underthrow. We've got a buy signal. Could go straight up from here. Corn. Still looks like a flag, still looks like it wants to retest this low. Ultimately, hasn't done it yet. Soy, nice looking rising wedge off the low, and this is breaking down. This looks like a bear flag, and probably is going to deliver a retest the low along with corn. We will see how that goes. Live cattle, still a nice looking double top here, still on a 60-minute sell signal, still leaning towards seeing a breakdown. By the way, NG I'm rolling this weekend. Cattle, I think I'll just check the volumes on that, but I'm pretty sure they've swung into July now. And HE, I'm planning to roll as well. Lean hog still looks like a flag. Still looks like this is going to deliver in due course a retest of this high. We will see. All right, what questions have we got today? Let's have a look. On Twitter, Stan says take profits at 2775 for new swing trade tool. So how does this compare to the 2720 target you mentioned for ES-SPX? I don't think he's saying it's necessarily going to stop at 2775. I think maybe he's looking at potential support there, but I'm not quite sure what you mean about the swing trade tool either. I think the next obvious target is the 2720 area. You could take some profits at 2775. But yeah, no worries, I can recap. What are the ES support levels today? Well, the immediate one we need to be watching is the stands 2806. Get below that, we break this bottoming setup that we're looking at right now, which is starting to deliver, and we can go straight down from there. Beyond that, we've still got the monthly pivot, which of course held the support yesterday. That's at the 2764 area. Below that, I've got 2720, and it's a biggie, and that's my main target. Quick recap of ES. ES, yesterday we had a back test of the daily middle band, and it closed below it. That's great. Today we could go a bit higher, but we don't have to. We got a nice looking bottoming setup here. Break up. We're on a 5-minute buy signal. A sustained break up over 26. Looks for the 41-42 area, and we could see higher from there. Although 62 is a big number, we reversed there overnight. We got up to 63.4, and there's no actual reason it has to go any higher than that. If we do get higher than that, I've got a cluster of resistance around the week to pivot. Get over the week to pivot, and we could be returning directly on the bull flag scenario that I was talking about in my post to retest the highs. I'm not expecting to see that. If we get there, it's got the week to pivot, it's got the 5 DMA, it's got the 50 M moving average, and I would be expecting it to fail there into another leg lower, which we don't have to get there to start. So the main thing is, we need to not convert that area to support. We need to close below the daily middle band today. So I don't really want to see it close any higher than yesterday because we were only 4 handles short of the daily middle band on SPX yesterday night. I don't want to see a break back over it today. As long as we don't see that, then downtrend looks good. Should go lower. 2720 would be my next big area that I'd be looking at. Although obviously we'd be watching for a potential low when we got there, because if I'm looking for 100 to 150 handle bounce there for a right shoulder, we should get some kind of a setup. Yesterday, of course, at the low, I called 1-minute buy signal, monthly pivot support. That was the low of the day, and that was a nice spot. That was a nice little bottoming setup. Chances are we would get something similar. All right, any more questions, guys? No, in that case, that's a wrap. Watch out for the rally today. We'll be watching the highs. The key resistance levels for today are really the 28.45 area, because that's the middle band area, and that is where this double bottom setup would take us. The next one is we've got the overnight high at 28.62. We've done a 50% retracement. We may be returning there to make the second high of a double top to take us back to yesterday's lows. That is a big resistance area of itself. If we get over that, then the weekly pivot area, I've got clustered resistance there, triple resistance. Get over that and convert it, and we've got a big bullish signal. Not expecting to see that, but always aware of the other possibilities, and it's always worth keeping those in mind. All right, great, cool. In that case, I will catch you guys on the Twitter feed. Everyone have a great weekend. And remember, I'll be rolling NG, live cattle, and lean hogs at the weekend, so they're all going over into the next contract. All right, cheers, guys. Catch you later.